All right. Good morning. Welcome back, everybody, on this lovely Monday. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend. Welcome back to the morning meeting here at Cybertradingu University. Great news over the weekend. Menorah, you probably heard about Menorah, whatever you want to call it, Menorah, whatever it is. The company came out with great announcement regarding about COVID-19. I got it. I think it's a little too early. I mean, I had a little too much coffee. But we're having a nice little run with a nice little stock right here. And this is making a huge change up in the whole market. We're getting a nice little rally. We were just almost at 30,000. And we're about 450 right now. But I always say buy on rumor, sell on news. Remember what happened last Monday? We had the same exact news what happened with Fiserv. Fiserv came out. Mark was up almost like 1,200 points because of it. Great rally. We're right back to where we started on the Dow, and now we're going and kind of get me a little nervous. We have to break that 30 price range, 30,000 on the Dow. And I know the S&P is also testing right around there too. But a lot of stocks are getting crushed by it. A lot of stocks are benefiting from it. I told you this last week. I'm not completely sold in the market in general yet. I want to see it kind of build some stability here. But all this news coming out with all these vaccines are actually really helping the market out a lot. Now I think if everything works out, I think now we have to focus on what's going to happen in Georgia on the election because the transfer of power. Because that will be a huge sway on where the market's going to move regarding about certain industries are going to benefit. Some of them are going to get destroyed. But there's a lot of good stocks. I can't wait to talk about it. There's cruise stocks, the airline stocks, a couple other ones that are moving. But before we do that, just remember, guys, we got a really busy week for you this week. We got Tom Sosnoff from Tasty Works, founder of Thinkorswim. That's going to be here tomorrow here at Cybertradingu University on closing bell. And we're looking forward to talk to him about this. It's going to be a great interview that we're going to have with him. You're going to have a great hour to talk with him tomorrow at 4:15 after the market closes. Also, this week is the new cycle of the Cybertradingu University courses. All the students here look forward to seeing. We're going to start at 10:30. So make sure you have your registration. Everything's taken care of. Looking forward to seeing you there. But before we get all into that, let's get right into the market and talk about what's happening right now. And what happened last week. But before we go through the watch list, just want to talk about what happened yesterday because last week was pretty cool. We had a pretty good week last week, and a couple of them just obviously had some really nice run-ups. Let me just change these so you can see a little bit further. So we had the stock Solo. It did really, really well. You could see it was a $3 stock. It turned to become a day trade, became more of a swing trade. Stock obviously still holding pretty strong, went almost high as $8. Great winner. Solo was a fun stock. Neo, my God, this thing was just an animal. Stock has been a big, great swing trade. But listen, I told you this on Friday. What scares me about Neo is the same thing would happen with Pinterest. When you start getting a stock that is basically, going up that fast, that's scary. You don't want to be in a stock that goes up that quickly because it come down just as quickly. So remember, we watched this stock. It went from $20, went over to 50. Look what happened on Friday. Went from 54, boom, straight down to 41. So, it's kind of get you a little nervous. LI was also another one. Fast mover. You could see it was a great stock all week last week. We watched this stock go from 22 to 40. Okay, look what it did. It went 41, went down to 30, down $10. Remember, whatever goes up comes down twice as fast. Okay. So what do we have? XPEV was another one that we had was a fast run up too. Look at this thing. $20 to 50. Great week of stock last week. Then Friday, eventually people like, maybe it's time to get out of it. So anyway, a lot of good stocks. That were great shorts. A couple of good winners. We had EV did really well last week. And what else we had? What else we had? What was it? Trying to bring CBAT because CBAT did pretty well, and this is actually in this morning's watch list. But that stock also, you could see, had a big run up in the beginning of September. Thing ran from $1 to $5, a little bit of a shake. Now ran the high as $8.50. We had one more last push the last couple of days. So, and it did it on Friday, and it's continuing today. So we're going to put that back on the watch list. Now, what's going on this morning? A lot of good stocks that are moving. And, I'm just going to go back to Menorah, whatever you want to call it. I can't pronounce the stupid name. Menorah. So you could see what happened here in the morning. It's really kind of just flatline. You see how the stock just went up, went from 90 to 104, 104. Great swing trade. Stock, you could see it. And let me tell you something. They knew the news was out. Look what happened, the last 5 days. The stock has been it was at 70, took a little bit of a hit. Look where it is. It went from 70, 80, 85, 90, and look where it is now. So there's a lot of profit taking going on. The stock is obviously doing pretty well. Now, 95% success rate is pretty damn high. Now, remember, there's a couple other ones that are coming out too. So I know there's a little basket of those, these stocks right here with the vaccine are all benefiting from it. And let me tell you, these guys can make a lot of money on that stuff. Remember, it's just not the United States. It's the whole world. All right. Now, a couple other stocks. Norm, we're going to check that out with the airlines too. I mean, you just pointed out in the cyber group room that American Airlines is obviously taking a hit. A couple other stocks. I want to work on the B list, and then I'll go on the A list. Let's start with the B list. Okay. So there are a couple of stocks on the B list, which is, that we're gapped up this morning, but they kind of flatline. Here you got ATHE. You could see it's up about 127%. Stock, we've traded it back in August. It ran from 3 to 5. It was a short squeeze. Came right back down. It's hovering right around the September highs right there. It is a little bit of an algo stock. 6.3 million shares already trading pre-market. You could see over there under level 3, there's some big orders everywhere. So it's going to be kind of hard to trade. It takes a lot to move the stock, but we know the stock can move, and we know it's a pharmaceutical stock. So I want to keep a close eye on it. You saw what happened last week. We traded a couple of stocks, and all of a sudden they didn't do anything. They were on the B list, and all of a sudden those B lists were on the A list, and they were on the top of the list. So that's why you can't underestimate some of these stocks. Sometimes these traders hold these shares until the market opens up because they're like teeter-totty, and then all of a sudden they kind of pick a direction. IDEX, another stock that we traded in the past, great stock, 50 cents to went to almost $4. Great swing trade. Phenomenal day trade. She's gapped up this morning, 3.8 million shares, 19%. Great spread, cheap stock, nice, comfortable level 1 stock for all you beginners out there. INO, another pharmaceutical stock that's moving, that's gapped up about 13%, 2.1 million shares. This one, if you look on the right, you got a nice little iceberg order right now for about, was it 1270 right there? That's not too bad. Let me draw this up for you so you guys could see it. You see this guy right here? Not bad. He's probably making that. That's basically what's holding it right here, right there. So that one's pretty cool. I like that one. Going to keep an eye on that one too. All right. What else we got going on here? We got BBVA. Can't forget that one. So BBVA, to me, it moved. I don't know. It looks like a buyout to me. All right. So without even looking at the news, without looking at anything, just when you see a stock trend like that, if you need to look at the news, go right ahead. But usually that's what comes up to be a buyout. CNK is another one that's moving too also this morning. Remember, this is all the B list, not the A list, okay? These are the people that are going to be on the wedding list. If the people on my A list don't want to come, I'll go to the B list. CNK, another nice little stock, nice little trend, up a little bit. I like the tier sizes. You got 6,000 shares, 7,000 shares, 69,000 at 1530. Kind of shows that resistance levels. Could see some decent support. No real big buyers there though, but like I said, it's up. I want to keep an eye on it. Let's hop over on the A list. Now, I know a couple of you are shooting some stocks out there. Michael and Deborah, we're going to check those stocks out. I was actually just talking to Josh this morning about Riot, RIOT. It's actually, it's coming out with earnings tomorrow, right? I think that's what me and Josh were talking about. So I'm going to keep a close eye on this stock, for tomorrow. But yeah, she just had a nice little decent pop. I think Bitcoin's been doing pretty well, so we're going to keep a close eye on that. All right, so we got Menorah. We know about that. Menorah, whatever. HPR is another one that's moving pretty well right here. I might throw her back on the B list. You can see she started dwindling down. She gapped up pretty big, up 16%. Not too many iceberg orders out there. Be a little cautious on that one. AHT is another one that made the watch list, 21%, 1.3 million, 1 million shares. It's got some decent resistance levels right here. You can see it right there. Not really too many iceberg orders out there that I'm seeing. AMC, remember that one? Blast from the Past. We actually had a lot of fun with this stock right here. So, nice mover. She's got a good spread. She does get some volatility sometimes. So go back to your journals. Hopefully, the way we taught you in class, you always monitor these stocks. I tell you all the time, you're going to trade them again. And you know what? If they were tradable then, they're going to be tradable in the future. They always come out with news. Okay. And at least they're going to come out with news at least every 3 months because of earnings. But keep an eye on that one. MIT, another one, MITT. This one up 7%. Good. I'm throwing this back on my B list. I was going to put it on the A. It's going back on my B. I'm going to scratch that. All right. Airlines. Okay. So they all did pretty well. Airlines, cruise stocks. I told you, I'm a long-term player on the airlines. Listen, I can see them going. We're going to get through this vaccine. Okay. We're going to get through this silent killer. Okay. This invisible war, we're calling it. Okay. This virus. So, I mean, eventually going to come back. So, unless you think Delta's going out of business, all right, then it's going out of business. But it's doing pretty, like I said, I was a big fan of it back in July. I was a huge fan of it when it got crushed. I actually lost money on the stock. I was actually, I bought the stock at 42 and I bought it at 42 and then I sold it at 38. Good thing I did because I saw it at 60. And then obviously you can see how it came back in July. So I own the stock right around like 31, I think. That's where I pretty much own it, right? But I bought this for long term. This is not more of a day trade. U.S. government won't allow major airlines to fail. That's Wayne. They won't. Listen, they got too many employees, and people have to eventually try. And you know what, Wayne? Honestly, I think I heard it's a you can't let them fail because it's a national security. That's a national security type of thing of an airline. What else with transportation you have? Okay. So that's really what it comes down to it. There's always national security things you got to know about. So Delta's doing well, JetBlue. You just go down the list, but they were doing pretty good this morning. It was all about the news on the vaccine. AL, they were actually pretty fun to trade on Friday. Then all of a sudden they backed off. Saves another one. You can see how they all up pretty decent, but they're starting to back off. And cruise stocks also. Cruise stocks are starting to, Royal Caribbean did pretty decent. Look, it went up to almost high as 80, came back a little bit, went as high as 77. What else we got here? Norwegian Cruise Line, that one too. CCL, Carnival Cruise Line. And who's going to get really hurt in this whole market? Who really gets hurt? High tech stocks. Okay. Look at Wayfair. Okay. Wayfair was probably one of the best movers due to the coronavirus. And this stock went from 40 all the way to about almost 400. She took a big hit now. All right. By the way, I'm actually becoming more of a fan of Wayfair than Amazon. AMZN taking a little bit of a hit. Look at I just want you to look at Amazon since July. Okay. July, August, September, October, November. It's 4 months. Where did it go? Nowhere. It's been sitting here. That's not a really good sign. But it's really, really not a good sign to see that. Zoom. Listen, we made a lot of money on Zoom. Okay. Once everything goes back together, who's going to get hurt the most? Zoom. Okay. Because eventually these kids, when they go back to school, they're going to work something out. Wick, another one. I mean, all these high-tech stocks are really going to be taking hits. I didn't see too much with Facebook, and I didn't see too much with Twitter and Google and all them, even Microsoft. Microsoft, I got to admit, though, I would keep a close eye on it. Microsoft came out with the new Xbox 10. You can't buy it anywhere, okay? If you guys know where I could buy one, please. My kids want to know. I mean, here we go. Here's the Christmas frenzy. Microsoft got the new ones, got the Xbox 10. So that's the next biggest thing. So hopefully they're going to make a lot of money on it. Bezos sold over $1 billion worth of his shares recently. David, why would you not? Why would you not sell $1 billion? I mean, like, first of all, this is a dumb question. What are you going to do with all that money? I think his ex-wife walked away with like, I don't know, 40 billion. And he's fighting. I'm like, what are you going to do? You're worth 200 billion. What the hell is one? I mean, seriously, what exactly could you do with all that money? You know what I'm saying? You're very fortunate. I'll tell you, a great Cinderella story. A guy was, an immigrant, basically, I think he came from Cuba, I'm almost positive. I mean, I mean, I was listening a little bit about him. It sounded like he came into money. I always like stories like that. You know, some people might hate his guts, whatever it is. I don't look at that. I look at how somebody always progressed. And, you know, it's a pretty good Cinderella story. You could buy a country. You're right, Michael. You really could. Fausto, what is your thoughts on Nikola? I still have it, George. I still have it. Nikola's doing pretty decent. I didn't sell it. I own that, and I still own Pinterest. I mean, Pinterest is down a little bit, but Nikola, I don't know. I mean, listen, look at that chart. So I think the news came out that Kramer said he's more of a fan. You know, Kramer on CNBC said he was more a fan of hydrogen. Honestly, I'm a hydrogen fan more than electric fan. I'll be honest with you. I mean, hydrogen, you know, if you H2O, if you look at water, if you can convert water into hydrogen, you mean like I think hydrogen, and we got plenty of that going around. I think hydrogen's better than electric. I'll be honest with you. I know it's just my thoughts on it, but I know that a lot of these gas companies were trying to get rid of hydrogen because they didn't want to step into their oil market. But I mean, if they start making hydrogen cars, I could see definitely be the future. And who else? And I think there's another stock. Was it F-Cell? I think F-Cell is the company. I don't know if it's F-Cell or one of them actually makes the actual the energy plants. I think it's F-Cell. Is it F-Cell, Greg? Yeah. So I mean, let's see how it goes out, but I'm still holding on to it. We own it right at support levels anyway. All right, guys. So listen, let's get back to markets. We open up in less than 15 minutes. Let's go reboot. Let's go get our coffees. Let's go hit the restrooms. Let's get ready for the open. Just keep in mind, today is Monday, so do not get too cocky. And also with Monday, let me just bring this up so everybody can see it here. In the, I know you guys could see it in the cyber group room, but people on YouTube and Facebook Live cannot see it. So don't forget, we got open house back on Thursday. We got my good friend Tom Sosnoff that's coming on tomorrow and closing bell. We'll put the link in there. Please register for it. This is your opportunity to talk to, you can ask any questions. I am going to send a bulk email to everybody to register. And if you answer me back, I'm going to pick some of your questions to ask him. And he's the most open. He's the most friendly. He's the most, knowledgeable guy that I met in the industry. And we have a great relationship. I look forward to having him on. We always have him here every few months. And if you want to know what the market's going to do, here's your opportunity. So don't miss that opportunity. All right, guys? Good luck. Happy trading. We'll see you. And also, don't forget, phase 1 classes start today at 10:30. So all gold, platinum students, and bronze, silver, and gold platinum students, we'll see you at 10:30 once we're done with commentary in the cyber group room. Good luck, everyone. Happy trading and be very safe. All right. We'll see you back here online for the 2:30 afternoon meeting.